Yeah, into the camera.
Yep. All right, guys, we're gonna get started. Hopefully we have at least one team member from each team here. So for those of you who don't necessarily know me, I'm Kelly. This is Sam. And then we also have our lead judge, Haley, on. So Haley, if you want to just unmute yourself and introduce yourself real quick.
Down here, I want to chat.
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I'm here. Hi.
Guys, that's Haley. She's going to be our head judge for the day, and she can answer a lot of our questions that we have going through. So if you've competed with us before, you know how we do this. We're going to try to run through everything. I'll stop periodically and ask for questions. You can put them in the chat too, but I may not get to them immediately. So just hang in there. All right. All right. So we'll get right to it. So our schedule for the day, our staff is going to be arriving, checking in at 7 a.m. You guys are going to start your check-in at 7:30. You have from 7:30 to 8 to check in. Please don't come up to the check-in desk before 7:30. We're going to be dealing with staff, but you are welcome to arrive earlier than that if you would like. Starting at 8 a.m., we are
Team together.
Yes, I have that. Starting at 8 a.m., we have our athlete briefing. So everybody's going to be meeting in the main gym. We're going to go over any last minute questions that may have come up after this meeting. We are not going over every detail again. So please make sure you go over everything with your team if they are not here. We're hoping, 8:30 a.m. our first heat is going to begin. 5 p.m. is our goal that everything is going to be done. We're going to be setting up the podium, and we're hoping to do podium presentations at 5:15. As always, if you have to leave early or whatever it may be, we are not giving prizes prior to the podium announcements. Parking. So if you come into Move Fast, Lift Heavy, the parking lot is going to be closed off. If you happen to get there before they are roped off, please do not park in the parking lot. You will be asked to move, and it will just be a major inconvenience for us. You can park on the street around the building. So you'll see Trade Zone Drive and Roebling Court surround the building. Right here where the X is, if you come down Roebling Court, there's an entrance into the cell phone waiting lot for the next door airport. It is a very short walk from there to the gym. So if there's no parking on the street, you guys can park there. It's extremely close. You can drop off any tents, chairs, whatever you may want, right, on the street next to the parking lot, unload, and then go park. Yeah. The waiver, I emailed, attached to that email with this link, a copy of the waiver. I'm sorry, we don't have a better system set up at the moment, but we need a hard copy of the waiver. So please print it out, one waiver per teammate, and it must match the name on your registration. Every partner has to have their own. We will have some copies, but please don't rely on that. Please try to print it and bring it with you. You cannot participate without filling out the waiver. If you don't have it, please send us an email, fightforthefittest@gmail.com, and just request it. We will send you another copy of the email. So morning check-in. When you guys come to check in, please wait until your entire team is there and check in together. Bring me all 4 waivers in a stack, all 4 of you together. Let me know you're all here, and we'll get you your stuff all at once. It's with 160 athletes. It's going to be much quicker for us to get it done this way. So if you're waiting on a teammate, just hang out, set up, warm up, do what you want to do. But again, we need you guys all checked in before 8 o'clock. If you are scheduled for the first heat at 8:30 a.m., it is your responsibility to find time to warm up that morning. Our briefing is going to be 8 a.m. and depending on how long that goes based on questions, you may not have a ton of time after the briefing is over to go back and warm up. So take time prior. I don't care if we're giving you the briefing and have bands or you're rolling out on the floor, that's fine. We just need you guys at the briefing and then ready to go at 8:30. So you've already met myself and Sam and Haley. Haley is the head judge for the day. Sam typically runs around and is on the mic. You'll hear his voice all day long. If you're already not sick of it from Instagram, you'll have a good dose that day. I typically run the scorekeeping and anything related to your scores. So if you have any questions, you can come see me. And Deb is from Move Fast, Lift Heavy. She will be at the door selling spectator tickets, any facility related issues in terms of the gym, parking, anything like that. You guys can see Deb for that. Bathrooms, there are bathrooms inside the facility, but they are for staff only. If you attended our partner series, you will know why. They have a lot of issues with the bathrooms. They cannot handle the amount of people. So please do not try to sneak into the bathrooms. We have fresh porta potties being delivered. They're just for us. It's not like they've been sitting there forever, and we'll have plenty for you guys outside. All right, questions so far on just that basic stuff I went over?
Have the chat open.
Okay. So judging, again, a lot of you have been with us before. Some of you are new. All of our judges are volunteers. All of our staff are volunteers. They're doing the best they can. We train them up the best we can, but they are human. So please treat them with respect. If you have any questions or concerns, it's okay to ask, but we ask that everything is just treated respectfully. You must sign your scorecard before you leave your lane. I'm only asking for one team member to do that. It is your responsibility, whoever that is, to double check that you agree with the score. The scorecard that's signed is going to be the final score. If you guys have any questions later on, check the leaderboard regularly. I have myself and another staff member entering all of these scores, but there is 40 teams and a ton of scores to be entered, a ton of math to be done. We're human, we make mistakes. So shortly after your division is done, we wait until the entire division is done. We enter all the scores, check it. Please, if there's any issue, just come let us know. We're happy to go over it. We'll pull out your scorecard. We'll double check it. It's not an issue. Just come see us if you have any questions. Please do not wait until the podium announcement to come to me and tell me that there's an error on your second workout. Once we announce the podium, that's it. An error is just at that point, just going to stay what it is. So the flow of the day, again, if you've been with us before, this is not going to be new. Each workout is going to have a check-in area that is going to be used for you guys to let us know you are there. You must check in to this area 10 minutes before your heat time, and you must remain there. There is a staff member there with a checklist. She's going to make sure all 4 team members are there. We are not checking in and then running to the bathroom. Once you check in, you have to stay. We do not wait for you if you are late. If you're not there when your heat starts, you're going to get a 0. We do our best. Our check-in person will notify us, and we have a DJ there who can make an announcement. If someone is missing, we will try to look for you. But if we can't find you and you are late, the score is a 0. This is how we always just run our events, very much on time. So your heat times are actually currently posted on Conquest Events. So they are up. I will show you in a moment how to get there, but things are still kind of changing. So please just double check the morning of the events. I wrote that 5 a.m. is going to be when it's officially finalized. I don't expect any changes really from this point on, but that being said, anything can happen. So what you see now may change. Again, don't expect it to, but it may. So I'm going to just stop sharing this real quick and show you guys how to go online and take a look for your heat schedule. I'm going to do this really briefly. If you go to where you registered, Conquest Events, you're going to see these headings under our logo. You're going to go to schedule, and you're going to see the 3 workouts. The final workout is here. There is no information under it, so you can guess if you'd like. So if you click, I'm going to do this one first, Garden of Bones, you're going to see the list of all the divisions, scaled, heat 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and RX. The times are to the right. If you click on that down arrow, you're going to see the lane numbers with the team name next to it. So you're going to have to click through all of them to find out where you are. You're going to be in different heats and different lanes for each workout. So be sure to check all of them. Just because you're heat 1 for this doesn't mean you will be heat 1 for the other workouts.
Subject to change.
So, and like I said, these are subject to change up until that morning. So please, double check that morning. Fire and Blood looks exactly the same. You're going to do the same thing here. Here are your times. I want you to make note of how we had to, just because of how the system runs. For the mountain, this is the lifting ladder outside. we are running through, if you've looked at the workout, which I hope you did, the male teammates are running through all male teams first,
All male partners.
partners, I'm sorry. Yep, for your division. And then all female partners are going in the second wave. So we couldn't list it twice with your team. So if you look here, it says heat 1 male is at 10 a.m. The female of that same team is going to be at 11:10. So I hope that makes sense. So this team right here, Los Ositos, is going to go at 10 a.m. for the male partners and 11:10 for their female partners. And then you're going to look down here for the same thing. So you have to look at this heading up here to see your start times. Ignore these times for the mountain on the right. Again, this is just the way the system works. We couldn't enter them in as separate heats. RX is the same here. Any questions on how to find your heat time or questions on how this mountain one is set up? I know it's a little confusing.
The only thing I'd say for this, the mountain, is that I would make sure to be close, even if you're not the next heat. This is going to move faster than a typical workout where turnover time in between or 10-minute workouts, 15-minute workouts. This is going to be progressively moving pretty quickly. So I make sure you don't miss your spot.
Yeah, 10 minutes before you're going to check in and then you're going to be basically put online. I will show you that after. So if there's no questions, I'm going to go back here. All right. Moving on. So I am not going to go over this in every little detail. This is a copy exactly of what was sent in that rule book that was also attached to the email. Please give our judges an easy day, look at the rule book and follow the standards for each movement. So for fire and blood, I think I missed a slide. I'm sorry. This is going to be the worm workout. Score is time to complete the workout or reps completed at the time cap. We have thrusters and burpees for our RX and deadlifts and burpees for our scaled teams. So again, one point of emphasis I want to make here.
So the things that I'm going to be making sure to tell the judges to look for on these workouts specifically is, one, that I want everyone to be parallel to the worm. I see a lot of people practicing this and they're kind of angling out 45 degrees from the worm. That will not be accepted. So they all have to be on the floor at the same time, but also have to be parallel to the worm. The other thing is I'm going to tell the judges to make sure that on the synchro, on the worm deadlift, that all partners make sure they hit full extension, regardless of your height differences. Everyone must have full extension and not bent over, hunched at the top of that. That's something I've seen as well.
Okay. Let's see. I guess that's it for fire and blood. All right, Haley, anything you want to add for fire and blood for the worm workout? Anybody have any questions? Oh, go ahead, Haley. No, we're good with questions still.
Yeah, we're good.
All right. So the mountain.
And
Oh, sorry, Haley. What?
I have nothing to add.
Okay. All right. So for the mountain, again, this is our lifting ladder. Just some reminders. So when we go through this ladder.
Hold on one second. So Allison
Oh.
asked if you could squat clean the worm for rep 1. Sure. Sure can.
All right. There you go. All right, so the mountain. So again, this is our lifting ladder. We are running through the male partners. For scaled is going to go through the whole thing, male partners, and then all scaled female. So when, this is a point of emphasis here, if both partners hypothetically make it to the top weight and both successfully lift, they're going to choose one of the two of them who can go for a max attempt. That is it. Both partners are not going for a max attempt, even if they both make it there. If one partner fails a lift, the other partner can continue through the ladder, and the partner who failed the lift will just continue to follow them through, just so we avoid any issues getting in anyone's way. And you can also cheer on your partner. So this is my notes for my staff, but I thought it was helpful to show you guys. So if you look at the top of the screen here, it's going to show you, we're going to have a check-in area 10 minutes before your heat. just those two male partners or female, depending on which heat we're doing, you're going to check in. Once all 5 teams in your heat are checked in, you do have lane numbers for this. The check-in person is going to basically put you in the loading area in line. So lane 1 is going to go first for your heat, lane 2 second, and so on. You're going to move in this pattern. We're going to go to our first bar here. You're going to do your 2 lifts. If you're both successful, you're going to go to the side, forward, and we're zigzagging. If you both fail your lifts, you're going to exit where your judge tells you, and you're done. Whoops.
To say what happens if one
Yes,
person-
I did. I said if one person fails and the other one is successful, you guys are still going to travel through the bars together, but only the one partner is going to lift. In this case, if you are partner A, you're still lifting in the first 25 seconds. If you are partner B, who's still traveling through, you're still lifting in the later 25 seconds.
Well, one thing I'd be aware of, it's not a completely flat concrete, but we're going to do the best we can. If you are partner A and you're lifting and you're going to use the entire time or the last seconds, be aware of how you drop your barbell and where you leave it, or especially if you miss, you have to reset your own bar for your partner. So that is your responsibility.
There's always going to be an empty mat. We are starting every 2 minutes. So there'll be an empty mat behind you and an empty mat in front of you, and our staff will be resetting the bar for you when you approach the new weight. But like Sam said, we are not helping reset bars in between partners. So going through again, this is just a repeat of the rule book. I mentioned, earlier that the rule book changes are going to be announced. So here in yellow are just some additions to the rule book that we were made aware that this is not listed there. So I'm just going to go through that. So the final bar, which is if you're going for a max lift, is going to be preloaded with 10 pounds more than what your final weight was. So for RX, it's going to be 245, and for scaled 195. That does not mean that you need to hit that weight. What that means is we just threw on some extra plates to help you. You and your partner can load up that bar however you see fit for your lift. But the plate changes must be done by the 2 working athletes, and you cannot receive any assistance. And you also must have clips on the bar in order for the rep to count. It will be preloaded at those weights with clips for you. All right, so these are the movement standards. I really don't want to go through all of those, but they are here for you guys to read. If you have any questions on the mountain, please let me know. Anybody have any questions on that workout? I'm begging you guys to please read the rule book. It is pretty standard CrossFit standards, but we want to make sure we're doing it right.
Yeah, and also if you're one of the 55 people on out of the 160 athletes that are participating, please make sure your friends, your teammates check this video and read through this carefully, because we are not doing this again that morning. We are doing a quick brief that morning. It's not going to be anything like this, and we are not going and demonstrating the standards of the movements that day. So it will be a major disadvantage for you guys to not look at this.
And to answer Alexa's question in the chat, yes, all bars for the lifting workout are going to be male bars.
Right. And if you want to know the reason for this, actually, it's not to that we don't have enough bars or we want to be annoying. This allows us to run the women directly after the men without changing any weights or any bars. And that saves us a significant amount of time throughout the day. So yeah, it's not that bad. I know a lot of females that use that bar. It's just a little bit thicker. Can both athletes attempt 1 rep max of the final bar? So at the final bar, only 1 athlete is allowed to be lifting. So that person is going to declare themselves as a lifter. It could only be an athlete that has completed the ladder. They can take as many attempts as they want within the allotted time. They cannot change the weight. Once they choose their weight and make their first attempt, that is the weight that they are going to have to try to make. If they do not make that, then they get the last successful lift.
Does that answer everybody's questions? All right, if you have any more, you can add them to the chat and we'll go back to it at the end. All right, so Garden of Bones, this is also going to be inside the main gym. So again, this is running male-male pairs. We are going to run through this workout. Then we're going to get a 1 minute break to turn over, not even turn over, but 1 minute break. And then the female are going to go.
Yeah, so the way that this will set up is both partners will be on the floor at the start line. So the female partners will be waiting there and they will be going together. So you will all be entering the floor and leaving the floor at the same time. The men will not leave the floor when they're done with their 10-minute section.
Well, they'll stay in the start box.
That's what I'm.
Yes. Okay. All right. So again, just some additions to the rule book that I sent out are here in yellow. Due to spacing on the floor for the handstand walks, at any point after your pair has completed your box jump overs, one of you has to just flip the box to the side, and we'll show you guys that morning. It's very basic. It'll take a half a second. And that's just going to allow you adequate room to complete your handstand walks later in the workout. Also, during the rest period, we have that 1 minute transition period. One of the female athletes can enter the floor and reset the box to their correct height in the correct location. If you don't do this during that 1 minute transition period, you're just going to have to find time to do it during the workout. So I wrote on here, you must enter the floor. That's not correct. You can. If you don't, it's just going to take time during your workout. So that's really just more helpful to avoid. So again, we have our handstand push-ups, chest to bar, and box jump overs. Did you want to say something about that?
Just about the standards for this one?
Yeah, is there anything?
So the main thing that we're going to be looking at for, especially for our scaled competitors, we are going to hold those standards as strict as we try to every other event. So the goblet squat, we're going to look for full depth, full extension at the top, full depth at the bottom. That's a big thing we always look for. The other movement, the pistols, we're looking for below parallel at the bottom and all the way up, controlled before the foot hits the floor. The opposite foot hits the floor. What was the other movement?
Wall walks, handstand push-ups, med ball sit-ups. We've had some questions about the med ball sit-ups, and this can go for the goblet squats too. There's two athletes on the floor at the same time. I don't care how you sit for the med ball sit-ups. You can sit side by side and pass the ball. As long as you complete the movement before the medicine ball changes hands or even the kettlebell, that is fine.
Right. So there's no tagging like we did in the partner series. There's no tagging in, tagging out. You guys can stand where you want. You can stand in the lane. You can do that however you would like.
Tony, we'll get to your question in just 1 second. I see it. One thing I just want to reiterate that Sam mentioned is these goblet squats. We've done these before. They drive me crazy because everybody wants to go as fast as they can. Hip extension means that I can see you squeezing your butt at the top and your hips are all the way forward. I spent one event looking at people's butts all day. And I really want you guys to do these well because I'd hate to be no repping you constantly on something that really is a very simple movement just because you want to go fast. So here to answer your question, Tony, this is what the lanes are going to roughly be set up at. Like the left two are RX. As you see, the boxes for the box jump overs are up against the line. So you can flip them tall side and there's a lane, an empty spot in between the lanes. So you flip it tall side, you have 20 feet for your handstand walks. So again, for these handstand walks, I don't care where you switch, but something that we were talking about yesterday that I want you guys to keep in mind is you have one judge. So if I'm judging your pair, I have to watch one athlete cross the line with their hands before I can turn my head if an athlete is following them down the 20 feet for the kick up. So make sure the judge has turned their head to look at you before you kick up because the judge can only watch one of you at a time.
Right. So you have two options there. And you have to really be intelligent about this. So you can wait for the judge to look at you, but there's no way to know that you're going to go and your partner's not going to go. Or you can follow your partner to the other side and be there when they kick down and kick up from the same spot.
Meaning you can walk around the
right. So if I'm walking from one end to the other, my partner could be down there waiting for me to finish. So that's something you guys can talk about beforehand. If your judge does not see you kick up, it will be considered a no rep.
The waiting area is where the non-working athletes, meaning, so if the males are working, the females are going to hang out there. It's still on the floor, but that they kind of have to stay out of the way over there.
That's the start box.
It's the start box,
Or
yeah.
end finish.
And finish, but there is no finish box on this one, is
Yes,
there?
there
Oh,
is.
I apologize. On this one, there is. So when you finish the workout, you're gonna cross into the finish area. Alexa, I see you have your hand raised. Did you mean to do that? If you did, you can unmute yourself.
Yeah, do the females start a minute after the male finished, or do we wait till minute 11 no matter what?
Well, good question. Thank you. So after the 10-minute cap, there'll be a mandatory 1-minute rest, and then you will start, all the female partners will start together.
Okay, thank you.
There will be no ab mats allowed, Leah.
So if you're a scaled team, she was asking if there's ab mats allowed for the med ball sit-ups. The
Maria
answer
asked
is
the same
no.
That was the same question.
Okay.
Alexa asked.
All right. So Maria, we just answered that for
So,
Alexa.
Are you clear on that, Maria, too? So we'll just make sure everyone's clear that. And then the score is going to be the male's time plus the female's time. So it's the same comparable. As
For the pull-up movements, anything on the pull-up bar, for all of our events, we will have mats available. So you can, talk to your judge before you start. For this, we do have that 1-minute period in between. So what I'm going to suggest is when your team enters as a team of 4 before the males begin, females, get your mats set up off to the side. Your judge will help you and tell you where to put them, but have them ready to go and chosen already. So that way, during that 1-minute transition, you flip the box, you get your mat set up, and then you're ready to go.
91 inches, about 92 inches is the height of that bar. I measured it today for Sean, who's 6'5".
Handstand push-up. Is there a box for
So
handstand for
the-
handstand push-ups?
The handstand, as you read through the standards, you'll see that the handstand push-ups are going to follow the same standards from the CrossFit Open this year. There will be a 30-inch line, 10 inches from the wall. That will be utilized for the handstand push-ups as well as the wall walks. Can we use the support? No. So Reggie,
Repeat the question.
Reggie asked, and I had talked to an athlete today who is also extremely tall. Can the taller athletes use the support bars, the ones that are going perpendicular? And the answer is no. Sorry.
All right. Any other questions? All right. You can keep adding it if you have any questions. All right. So just a reminder, guys, and I know this was an issue for some at the partner series, the gym does not have a water fountain. So please come prepared with tons of water. We will have vendors there selling food. Our restaurant who was at our individual event, Zest, who had amazing food, is going to be back. They will be selling water. We might have a sponsor, which I don't have confirmed yet, who will be providing water bottles as well, but I don't know that for sure. So again, don't rely on that. Just bring tons and jugs of water. Just better safe than sorry. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Nina asked about the standards for the pull-ups. Again, it is written out, but I'm happy to go over it. There is no jumping pull-up allowed. Kipping and butterfly, as well as strict, but you have to be at a full extension at the bottom. So there is no jumping pull-ups allowed. There is a final workout, so you guys know that it's called the climb. I'm not going to go over the standards for that, but I'll let you know that we did, we did purchase quite a few worms for this event. So it would be kind of silly for us to only use those in one workout.
Anyway, all right, going back. So again, we'll have
I used to
tons.
be here.
It's
I'm saying.
We'll have tons of snack and food vendors, but bring plenty of stuff for the day. Go over all of the workouts and standards beforehand. We are always available to answer questions. We have no problem if you email us and ask us a ton of questions. I'd rather you guys do that now leading up to Saturday than Saturday. Just keep in mind, Friday night, we are pretty much non-existent. We are setting up all night long and it's usually just the two of us. So any emails Friday, probably after 3 o'clock, we probably won't get to. So anything before that, please just don't hesitate to let us know. Another question just came in. Do you have to be facing the box for jump overs or lateral jumps? Okay.
So to be clear on that, no, lateral jumps are okay. Facing is okay. Jumping up, stepping down is okay. The only thing you can't do is step up, and you can't have any other body part other than your feet touch the box.
And one athlete on the box, obviously at a time, but I have to say that. I have to say it. We've seen some things. Bring your own chalk. We will not have chalk available at the gym. Pretty standard for everything that we always have.
So the top 5 teams in each division, the 5 scaled and then 5 RX will be in the finals.
So there's just going to be 1 heat per division for the finals. So I just kind of condensed all of the rule book updates on this slide. We already went over it, but I put it in one place in case you guys want to go over this, because again, it's not in the copy of the rule book that I had emailed out previously. Can the final bar attempt be a lighter weight than 235?
No,
235 is the last,
35 is
the
no,
last weight.
it's not, gosh,
It's accumulation of the
max
the
lift.
max. Well, we add up the total pounds that your team successfully lifted. So if you successfully lifted the 235 on the last mat of the mountain, there would be no purpose for you to do a lighter lift for your max attempt, if that makes sense.
You know what I'm saying?
Does that make sense?
You just realized that the scoring is different than he
Makes
thought, probably.
sense.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, there'll be the smallest plate available for
Hold
the
on.
mount.
The question is, are change plates available for the mountain?
Sorry. People can read. So yeah, the smallest plate available will be a 2.5 pound plate, a pair of 2.5s. There will not be singles or quarters. So that would be the smallest you have.
Keep the questions coming, guys. I'd
If
rather
both
answer them now.
Partners didn't make it to.
Hi,
Oh, go ahead.
we have a question, but we don't have a keyboard on this.
Go for it.
For the scaled team, for the pull-ups, if we can't reach the bar to jump up just because it might be higher than what we're used to, is there the possibility to have like either a J hook on the rig or like a box to the side that we can just jump off of to get onto the bar to do the pull-up?
we have great platform boxes for you. You don't want to ever have anything to the sides. We have like these nice boxes that will go underneath.
Or
and you can
mats.
actually or mats, and you can land on them and they're soft. So you'll have time to figure that out before the workout and find the right one for you. I think there's one that's 4, 6 inches, 10 inches, 12 inches if you're really short.
So just to reiterate what I said earlier is when your whole team enters to start your heat, set that up with your judge. Yes, the males do the workout first, but you only have a 1-minute transition between. So set that up, get it, and the judges will put it out of the way so it's not in the way for the men, but it's ready for a quick setup for you and your partner for after. Does that, and the bar is pretty long. So if one partner needs it and the other partner doesn't, then there's room for you to have one person set up and the other one not, if that makes sense. Did that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, no problem, of course. So another question, if both partners did not make it to the end of the mountain, then a 205 or 215 lift would add to your score. No?
Can you want to?
Oh, no. So I think I understand this question. So Gregory is saying that would Sam's max attempt outweigh my failed attempt? Am I answering that correct? So each partner or each teammate has to have their own lift. So I can't have the stronger athlete have 2 scores counts instead of mine. Does that answer your question, Greg? If not, you can just unmute and ask us.
Sorry, yeah, I'm just gonna unmute. So basically the question was like, so say one partner makes it to the 235 and then has a max attempt, but the other person finished at 205 and you don't think you could hit 235 plus again. But if it's total cumulative weight and you hit a 215 snatch, wouldn't that just add 215 pounds to your total?
It's not cumulative weight. It's whatever the highest weight successfully lifted
Right.
is.
So
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay, so your partner had 205, you had 235, you miss your max, so you have 235 and 205. Whatever you hit for your max is replacing the 235. The 205.
Gotcha. Okay. No problem.
Yeah, as soon as that partner misses an attempt, that score is locked in and that's done.
Yeah, it's a good question. It's just not cumulative. It's
Yeah,
your
I guess
max
that makes
lift.
sense. Yeah, never thought of it that way.
Okay, so going back through.
Said, can the sit-ups be done facing each other? You can face,
Yes,
however
the
you
answer,
want.
you can face however you want for the sit-ups, but you
Sideways.
must meet the standards. And one portion of the standard is that the ball must make contact with the ground in front of you. So if you are sitting feet to feet, you just have to make sure that that ball has somewhere to hit in front of you.
Devin asked another great question that's in the standards of the rule book that we sent out.
Read the question.
In the mounting, if you pick up the bar before the 25-second or the 1 minute period but don't finish the lift within the time, does it count? No, the lift must be completed before the time change. The reason for that is because otherwise you're really impeding in your partner's time period.
Yeah, so you each have 25 seconds. So the entirety of the lift must be completed in your 25 seconds. Now, if you stand it up within the 25 seconds, but you don't drop the bar until after, that's fine. Your lift is completed when you're at full extension. So it's technically completed. But again, we want to hurry up and give our partner their chance to set up and get ready to go. Yes, Quentin is asking if he can sub out one partner. Yes, for this event, we do allow it, but Quentin, please send us an email as soon as we're done with this with the name of the partner who is not going to be attending and the name of the partner who is going to be attending in their place. And then we should be all set. So just shoot us an email with that information. Any other questions? I like it. I'm just going to go fast forward through here while we're waiting for questions. These are the rule book updates. So just some last minute silliness, but important to us. Throughout the day, tag us at our Instagram, on your social media, on your posts and your stories. You can use hashtag Fight for the Fittest in your posts. If you are a podium winner, especially, but our swag bags are nice and stacked again this year, please post about any of the products that you receive, tag us, tag those companies. We have amazing sponsors and our sponsors are just continuing to grow. They're giving us such wonderful things. We have 2 wonderful sponsors who are giving you guys cash prizes. We have Orthopedic Associates of Long Island and we have Kinetic Chiropractic. They're giving the cash prizes for our RX teams. The reason these companies do this is because we work so hard to promote their companies and advertise for them. So if you want to keep getting these great prizes, the great swag bags, please help us out by doing that. As always, Mike Sharon Photography is going to be photographing the entire event. He takes a few days after the event, but then photos will be available. So make sure you follow him. He does sell the photos, but he is fantastic. So you won't want to miss out. Also, something new that we started last event, which was very successful. We have Monica with Koala Fit Media. She comes and she is a videographer for the day. However, to make sure that she gets the best shots of you guys and enough to give you guys a really good quality video, she makes she requests that you guys pre-order so that way she knows who she is shooting predominantly throughout the day. She's going to be done selling these packages by Friday is her last day because she needs to get everything set up. You will not get any videos from her if you do not pre-purchase them. So follow her at Koala Fit Media. If you have any questions, you can reach out to her, ask her. She is amazing. And then Haven is another one of our sponsors. They sponsored our last event. Our first place RX winners are getting the large duffels again for this event, which is a $300 value, I think.
Yeah.
So they wanted to give everybody the opportunity to get one of their bags. So you can use this code FFTFT anytime between 5/6 and 5/8. It is not currently active, but you will get $50 off one of their bags, which is an awesome deal. Another question, sorry, I just want to go back to the questions, guys. For the sit-ups, is there any mat at all for the sit-ups or is it just the floor itself? Sorry, guys, but it's just the floor. So you guys are just going to be doing med ball sit-ups on the floor. Haley, anything else that you want to chime in that we didn't mention in terms of judging or standards?
No, I think we got it pretty good.
Well, we are absolutely cruising through this. All right, so just kind of going over one or two things that Kelly talked about. So again, with the judging, this is our 5th in-person event. This is our first time doing team. Okay, so we are learning and growing as event organizers. So our judges, they put in a 10 to 12 hour day. We ask that you be respectful and understand that there's a human aspect to this, and work with us in that regards. We are going to continue to work to grow and put on bigger and better events for you. One special announcement I have for you guys that I'm actually going to announce Friday, but I figured I'd tell you guys sooner. We are signed up and locked in for September 9th to do our individual event. That is going to be at Fftf. That is the first event that we ever ran. That's kind of our baby. The little twist that we're going to do September 9th at Fftf is that we are going to be adding a 40s plus master division for the male and female. So if you are 40 years and older, you will be able to compete in that division. So that's exciting, and that will open up Friday at 5 p.m. We're going to open the registration up for that, and as soon as we're done with this event, we're going to get right back to work on another event and keep the community competing strong.
I have a couple of questions I just want to go back to. Alexa, you want to ask first? You have your hand raised. I love that you're raising your hands.
Sorry, I don't know why I'm getting so confused. For the lift, it's just the score of all 4 lifts, whatever number.
The highest lift. So if you, whatever your max successful lift is, Alexa, is your score. And the same for each of your partners. And then we're going to add those up for one cumulative score.
Gotcha. So if I hit 155, Hunter hits 165, it's 155 plus 165 plus the 2 boys.
Correct. So
yeah.
if one partner goes for a max lift and hits it, that's going to be their score. If they miss it, whatever their,
Best lift.
would be their,
Right.
yeah, would be their score. Does
Right.
that make sense?
Yes, all good. Thank you.
Yeah,
course.
this workout was actually modeled after the universal lifting workout for the CrossFit team semis done last year, where they were all going through that snatch ladder. So that was kind of what we followed for that.
So a couple more questions that we have in the chat. Are scaled winners receiving prizes? Yes. And I'm sorry that they were not posted, but
That's my fault.
no cash.
We were getting prizes up until like last
Yeah,
week.
it's been hard for us to try to post
Okay,
about the
what's that?
prizes because we do have a ton. Scaled is not getting cash prizes, but you are getting a ton of stuff for our scaled podium
list?
prizes. I do have a list, but not in front of me. If you want to go get it off the dining room table, it's in that pile of papers. Sam looks for the list because there's no chance I'm going to remember it off the top of my head. I'm going to go to the other question. So if a no rep on the burpee on the worm workout, does only the person who touched the worm have to redo it or the whole team? So I'm going to answer this and ask Haley for confirmation, but I'm going to say the whole team must, because it is a sync. I mean, that's the answer, but I'll have Haley confirm. It is a team workout. So you guys have to be synchro in that movement. And the synchro portion of that movement is your chest to the ground. So at any point, if there's a no rep for any of those movements, the entire team must redo it. Now, I'm not going to ask you guys to go back to the side in which you no repped in order to do those burpees. Wherever you ended up, as long as you are staggered, 2 partners on each side and then parallel to the burpee, you're just going to redo that burpee.
All right, so
Going back to the scaled prizes,
so all winners,
regardless of division.
regardless of place, get products from NG Nutra, whether it's their protein, the pre-workout, the recovery, Valor Craft CBD creams, Mush overnight oats that will be drop shipped to you from Mush, a case of C4, and some Slate milk protein drinks. That's my daughter. The scale teams, 3rd place will get each member will get a 3-month membership to RP, and each member will get railing grips. 2nd place is a 6-month membership to RP, Talty bar, variety packs, and railing grips. 1st place is custom ice shaker cups, 12 months to RP, Element 26 lifting belt coupons, and railing grips. And while we're here, we'll just go through the RX too. 3rd place, $400 cash courtesy of Kinetic Chiropractic and Orthopedics Associate for Long Island. And here's a good little plug. So Haley our head judge, who made the semis this year in the Masters division, is a doctor of sports medicine. And she works at and is a partner at Orthopedics Associates of Long Island. And she has treated professional athletes, high school athletes, children athletes, myself many times, Kelly many times, my daughter many times. If you want to get back to sport as fast as possible and safely as possible, going to see Dr. Queller is the smartest choice ever.
All right.
All right. Third
Thank
place.
you, Sam.
You're welcome. Third place is $400, 3 months to RP, Talty bar variety pack and railing grips. Second place is $800 cash, custom ice shakers, RP 6-month membership, Element lifting belts, Chesty gift card, railing grips. And first place is $1,600 cash, large Haven duffel bags, RP 12-month membership, Chesty gift cards, and railing grips. So I hope that is enough prizes, courtesy of our wonderful sponsors.
All right, guys, any other questions before we let you guys go? Nothing? You guys are awesome. Oh, hold on, I think. Oh,
Welcome, of course. We love you guys. Please, if you haven't competed with us, please find a moment to come up to me and Kelly and introduce yourself. There's a ton of new faces, ton of people from the city, ton of people from Connecticut. We want to get to know you guys. So please just come up to us, let us know your name. And we hope you guys have a great time. We put so much time into
we have
these.
another question coming in, just. in case
So
you
much
don't wanna
time
sign
into
off.
these, and we really do it because we love to do it. We love you guys.
And again, I know some people are hesitant to come up to us about score questions. Please don't. I'm never going to get upset if you come nicely and ask me to double check your score that you think there's an issue. I'm actually even okay with appropriately approaching me or Sam and saying, hey, listen, like I have a question about this particular judge and how they're judging, because again, our judges are volunteers. So if there is something going on that we're missing, if it's approached with kindness and concern and respect, I'm okay addressing it. It may not go in your favor. You may not like what we have to say, but I have no problem hearing questions and concerns. Like Sam said, we are, learning every event, and we work off of volunteers. It's, the only way that we can run these events, and, everybody just does the best they can. And you guys have been wonderful. If you've competed with us before, I mean, you guys know, we love you guys so much. One of the questions that just came in, I think it might be the last one, is for the lift, how is the clock set? So the clock is going to be running for 50 seconds on, 10 seconds off. Yes, so the 50 seconds is the cumulative of your 25 and 25 for each partner. So there is going to be someone on a mic outside, and it's going to be annoying for them and you, but they are going to be repeating cues throughout the entire time. So if you're not directly staring at the clock, or you're having trouble seeing it from maybe that particular station, we're going to be counting down on the 10-second rotation or rest. It's going to be 3, 2, 1, lift. That signals partner A to lift. And then we are going to signal at that 25-second mark, switch, which signals partner B can begin their lift. And then we're going to signal time 10 seconds, which means that's it. Rotate to your next lift, and then they'll go back to the 3, 2, 1 lift. So that is going to be going on for hours outside. So we apologize in advance, but we want to make sure that all of the teams are very well aware of their times, because it is going to be a constantly moving situation, and it's going to be chaotic out there. So we want you guys to definitely hear what's going on. Allison, does that answer your question? I'm assuming it does. Anyone else? All right. Like we said, email us. I don't want to keep you guys anymore. I appreciate all the questions. Email, DM us with questions. We appreciate you all. We are excited to meet all of the new faces and the new teams, and you guys can sign off. I'm going to hang out until everybody's gone in case there's any other questions. You guys can unmute if you want to talk to me or shoot another message. But at this point, you guys are free to sign off. See you guys Saturday morning, bright and early.
Tell your friends.
Yes, pass this info along to your teammates. Thank you, Haley.
Yes, and then push out.
Thank you.
Thank you.
you.
Guys.
I just have one more quick question, if that's okay.
Yeah, of course it's okay. What's up?
Who is this?
before I'm on a scale team. Are we allowed to put wax on the pull-up bar for the
No.
chipper? No wax. Okay.
There's nothing can go out directly on the pull-up bars. So, and then there's no tape, no nothing like that. You guys can use grips, but that's it. And chalk.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Of course. Thanks, Haley. I'm signing you off, Sam. You don't need to be here. Haley, do you have anything else you want to tell me? It's just us now. No? What? Haley? Are you even listening to me? She's not listening to me anymore. All right, I'm ending the meeting, Haley.